Embedded in the story of Islam is the message of resisting evil and standing upon truth, even if the truth is weak and the evil is strong. Were I to ask you to mention members of the Sahaba who showed perseverance, who showed strength, who showed love for the Prophet ﷺ, you'd probably mention Bilal, you'd probably mention Abu Bakr, you'd probably mention Umar radiallahu anhum ajma'een. But how many of you would mention Sumayya bint al-Khayyat, the one who showed all of that and died for it? Sumayya radiallahu anha is from the weakest position in Mecca. She's a slave of a man called Abu Hudhayfa al-Makhzumi. Her husband Yasir is a client of Abu Hudhayfa from a tribe called al-Madhij all the way in Yemen, so he has no allies in Mecca. And yet she's of the first 7 to embrace Islam with her son Ammar bin Yasir. Now, despite being from the weakest position in Mecca, despite being older than Khadija radiallahu anha in age, 60 plus years old, and despite having no protection in Mecca aside from being clients to a man called Abu Hudhayfa al-Makhzumi, they still don't hide their Islam. Sumayya and her family never hide their Islam. And when that last bit of fragile protection shatters with the death of Abu Hudhayfa, Sumayya and her family are left to the whims of the Bani Makhzum, the tribe Abu Jahl is from. And they face persecution. They're spat at, insulted, shoved, whipped, on one occasion even tied up in the hot sun with chainmail placed on their skin so they would boil alive. And they still didn't abandon their Islam. And one day the enemy of Allah, Abu Jahl, decides to take things a step further. He takes Sumayya and her family. He has them in the boiling hot sun, almost torturing them to the brink of death. And then he looks at Sumayya and he says to her in the crudest way, "You're just waiting for your husband to die so you can marry Muhammad, isn't it?" And Sumayya, a slave woman, 60 plus years old, tortured almost to the brink of death, looks up at Abu Jahl, the elite of the Bani Makhzum, the elite of the Quraysh, and she says in an act of pure defiance, "You are lower in my eyes than a beetle on the ground." And that one comment hurt Abu Jahl more than anything he could have done to them. And so he lashes out and he murders Sumayya by impaling her with a spear, making her awwalu shahidatan fil Islam, the first martyr in the history of Islam, standing on the truth until the very end. That's your legacy, the legacy of Sumayya. Don't let it fade.